Accu-Stats Arena at Caesars, Southern Indiana. Welcome to the 2022 Derby City Classic and the 23rd edition of the Pocket Billiards All-Around Championship. Pool's most exciting event is proudly sponsored by Diamond Billiard Products, by Simonis, and by Aramis Belgian Billiard Balls. We'd also like to express our thanks to OBQs, Master Chalk, and Outsville for their support, and our great tournament direction team from Bad Boys Billiard Productions. It's our 12th year here at the Caesars Southern Indiana, and we appreciate having such a great host and partner throughout the years. Our extended Derby City family continues to grow worldwide, everybody. And whether you're here watching live in person or out there at home, we want to say how much we appreciate all of you. You are the force behind making the Derby City the most popular and prestigious event on the calendar. So thank you all very much. And let's get ready for some one pocket. Thank you. All right, the one pocket division is underway. 457 players began. There are 165 players left going into this round. This is round number 3. Now my pleasure to introduce our 2 players. Right here from Louisville, Kentucky. He's a reigning U.S. Open bank pool champion, and he's sponsored by Jam Up Apparel. Let's welcome Louis DeMarco. His opponent from New Orleans. He's a former U.S. Open one-pocket champion among his long list of accomplishments. Sponsored by Game Tight Apparel and Buffalo Billiards, it's T-Rex, Tony CHOHAN. All right, gentlemen, please lag for the break. Good luck. It's a race to 3. Rack your own 60-second shot clock. Cue ball fouls only. We're going to send it up to the commentary box now to Mark Wilson and Double J, Jeremy Jones. Take it away upstairs.
It's one pocket time at the Derby. Mark Wilson and Jeremy Jones here. Thanks, everyone, for joining along. Jeremy, feature matchup here, early goings of the one pocket.
Yeah, 2 guys that I'm not sure how deep Tony's ran in any of the events here. I know he's made a few deep runs. Louis definitely has made a few deep runs in the banks before. Maybe as far as the runner-up, I can't remember. I know he's finished top 4. So a guy that's always does pretty well here right in his home area, just across the river from Louisville, Kentucky, that being Louis DeMarco. And I was saying right before this match that Tony, I think, is, of course, one of the premier one-pocket players in today's game, but I think he's really a guy that's super dangerous on the slick felt. I think the way his shot selection is, a lot of times it sets up for the slick felt, and his stroke as well. Really smooth and slippery at times, I guess, and this is another thing that we'll see a little more effective on this table is the break usually. Anytime you're on newish felt, usually the balls break really well.
Really nice opening break there.
Yeah, and Louis, who's been known as a bank player and, of course, a good 9-ball player, really has come along with his one pocket in the last couple years. Don't know if he can kick between that 10-3 or not. If he can, he may go 2 rails in behind it because he can move the balls a little bit with the 6. He'll hold the cue ball.
And that's a lot of easy cross-corner bank.
Well, it depends on how aggressive he gets. If he gets aggressive with his 2-railer, the 1 could open something up for a bank. Ooh, he caught the ball first, but that happens a lot as well. Very effective shot. That's almost similar to the shot I was telling you about yesterday, kicking underneath it. Remember in the 9-ball on the 4-ball, I said kick underneath it, and you see how the path comes 1 rail towards the stack? Okay, I don't know if he has to play a combo here with the bank or if he can slide the 8 by the 1. Okay. Wants that ball to get up a little bit, and it did. So now there's a lot of balls that Louis has to be very careful of. The 1 ball, of course, it's always obvious the one closest to your opponent's pocket mark, but like the 2 ball is a very dangerous ball. The 3 ball is a very dangerous ball. So it'd probably be, man. If the 1 wasn't cuttable, I probably maybe chop the 2 over and come up by the 5. Keep it real simple. If I don't feel like my opponent can cut the 1 in. Because this is a dangerous little situation here, kicking at the 1. You got to get the cue ball up. Yeah, that's never going to be safe there. And I'm really curious on where he wanted to go with the cue ball there. I know it wasn't there, obviously. That gives up banks, but I'm just curious where he was trying to go.
Maybe he's trying to hit half of the 1.
And come up into the stack, maybe,
right,
yeah.
Right.
The 3 banks. And I've always felt like I wanted to stay off this table as long as I could myself. It's just a very hard table to defend against. When it's slick, it's hard to lay the cue ball down at times.
And especially after you've been playing on the more broke-in outer tables.
Right. And that's,
Look at that. He just went all out. That was win or lose.
That's going to be a lot of what is going to happen here because the guys are such a huge favorite to make the bank, right?
Yeah.
So some would look at like, man, that was a really dangerous shot, but really percentage-wise, it was right on. And you'll see, if we had a clock on the caliber of matches, here on the main table, it's not always going to be 2 of the best players, but it's going to usually be a pretty nice match, right?
Right.
And I wonder what the time frame on matches are on this table compared to the same type of quality matches on the outer tables. I would bet a little shorter here on this table. Okay, I don't know if he bumped the 11 out. I don't think so. Very difficult here now. Got to be careful if he's coming into the 4. I mean, that's the shot, I think. But he could have got pinned up. Like, say that ball creeps over another inch to the left.
Mm-hmm.
He's on top of the 9 and squeezed behind the 15. So one thing about one pocket is, when they're all down here, the score doesn't matter that much because Louis could certainly run a bunch of balls if Tony makes a mistake.
Oh, it's really nice speed control there on this brand new slick cloth. This table hasn't been used, so.
Well, Tony's a guy that, like a lot of other guys that I told, love to see him out here playing a lot more big rotation tournaments. I think his fundamental sets up for today's equipment really well. Nice, soft, big stroke. Huge touch, right? Got a great touch.
Playing for 1. T-Rex. After a good break and a couple safety exchanges, a real nice 8 and out.
Yeah, and we can say Louis an underdog in this match. I mean, most would be an underdog to Tony. There's only a few guys in the field that it would be more like an even slated match. But just like anything, Louis just got to get into the match a little bit, meaning if he can make them last a little bit, the games, that's where it's going to be the ticket for Louis.
Yeah, there's nobody here that's going to be favored over Tony.
Right.
You might be close to equal, but you're not a big favorite.
Right. And the thing is, on this table, the 15-7 looks wired, so immediately some difficult situations for Tony. But on this table, sometimes it's hard to get into the game. I mean, I played Roberto a few years ago, and I did everything I could to lengthen the game because I realized, my advantage, plus that's just good for me, period. And it was just hard. He always tickled a ball by his hole and put the cue ball in some nice places, and Tony's in the spot right here to start out.
Yeah.
I wonder if he shake the 10 onto the balls and move the cue ball up into the corner, kind of doubling up maybe on the 1, leaving him a tough situation at least. And that's a great containing shot right there. Not only did he move a couple away, he held the cue ball nice. And that's all about the 15-7. So we'll see if Louis wants to get aggressive with this kick shot. Tony would have loved something to come back and just rub the 15-7 a little bit. But
yeah.
He was hoping for just anything to come back and bump that ball, maybe get in the way of the combo, right? Maybe a ball ends up in the way. But I think this looks pretty darn close, and if it is, he's supposed to shoot at it. And I'm trying to think how, pretty hard not to get position, at least on a bank. If he happens to go past it, oh, he caught it thin. That's going to be upsetting. And Tony might hold for the 8-ball bank right here. He may draw off the 5 and get shape on the 7. That's probably what he does here.
Big, powerful, loose stroke. Tony's the most relaxed player in the field.
Yeah, and he really, what I like a lot is he doesn't miss-hit the cue ball much. He really is effective with the cue ball. Really good timing with the swing. Dangerous player. And you can see the guys are going to hum those banks in a lot because they're going to just slide in, right?
All right.
Yeah. I don't know. Pretty full hit. We'll see how much he can get the rack open. Yeah, nice smart shot there just to get a couple open.
Now, interesting, they're not playing all-ball fouls, which I'm not really a fan of, but nevertheless, that is the rules.
Yeah. And it's a little harder just because the guys are over the balls all the time, a little more often, but what's he doing here?
Three-reeling, maybe?
Oh, he got it on that side of the stack. Watch out off the 14. The ball slides into position pretty decent as well. So,
I mean, every time Tony has had the cue ball completely controlled, every single time he has locked that down. There's never been any risk. He's had to try a couple of difficult maneuvers with the object ball, but his cue ball has been pinned.
he's looking at banking the 1 and going up top with the cue ball. He could maybe play the 11 into the rail, into the 2. It's not laying bad. Okay, he didn't move the cue ball much, so if he doesn't make the bank, Tony's going to be cutting it 2. Now the one thing is, can he get on the 11? Doesn't want to open the pack coming in from that side right there. He could lock himself up and put himself in a bad spot. So this should be fairly mild, maybe with a little high inside. Maybe tries to get on the 11 up and down, but he doesn't go crazy. Yeah, so if he falls on the rail here, he's not going to go crazy shooting the 11. He'll probably move the 1 with a pretty big lead. Tony knows Louis is going to respect his game. This has gotten a little funny. He's got to put a lot of spin on this. Oh, look at this guy. He's not backing down at all. The lead isn't changing Tony that much. And I think a little fortunate not to leave a cross corner. He was leaving the 1 pretty open right there. Mark, I know you don't play a ton of 1 pocket, but you probably played a little bit more of it in the last few years, huh? Being around Nick, maybe. I know Nick likes to spar a little 1 pocket.
No, and I haven't played tons and tons of 1 pocket, but I've played quite a bit.
Okay, good. Besides baseball, it's my favorite game on the planet. Okay, the 1's gotten a little awkward. He's going to try and hold this ball up right here.
He's going to rethink that. No reason to take big risk here.
Yeah, of course. It's always, when you got the score, you got the lead, you got to remember your opponent's the ones who really got to do something. And Tony with a 5-0 lead here in game number 2. I believe that's the score. Tony will survey the stack, and he may get a little aggressive with this 1 ball if the stack really isn't helping. Oh, he's looking at something else now. What's he looking at here?
2 cushion stop shot or?
Oh,
No,
the kick.
rail first kick.
He laid it down sweet right
Yeah,
there.
you can see Tony's going to be tough business in this tournament. There's been times when he showed up where his stroke showed a little ring rust, where he wasn't quite as in tune. He's always known the shots, but he looks like he's totally in tune here.
Yeah, well, it used to be he would, really just play in some of the bigger 1 pocket, mainly a few of the rotation, but he's playing more. more of the bigger tournaments, more of the rotation, more of the big table tournaments as well. So like you said, I think he probably arrives a little more in stroke at times. Could follow through on the 1. Got to be careful there. Now the good thing for him is the 11-9 and all that really isn't doing much for Louis, right? So could play the 11 off the 3 here as well, banking it back towards his hole like that, following towards both balls going to his side.
Boy, a good shot.
And Louis may be forced to go at this bank just because the 11 on the bottom rail makes it very difficult to play safe. You're going to give up a cross corner if you just try to move the 13 probably. Not only that, he's behind in the score. And he's a great banker. So it looks like to me he can bank this and come one rail at the, is that the 14-3 right there, the 14? That's what I would do. Now the problem is, Mark, not much of a reward as far as the shot if he makes it.
Looks like he's thinking about overcutting the 13 and going the cue ball into the. No, he played the bank. That was smart.
Yeah, he was trying to get the cue ball to go at the 3. So just here early, nothing going for Louis just yet. Good thing is, man, if you can keep your composure, right, it's a race to 3. So, I mean, how far out of it are you? Really good at rolling his ball.
Good shot there.
Man, he's going to get, still going to need 1 ball after this 11, but he should be able to work the cue ball out above the 9 and 12.
Wow. Nice shot.
And quickly 2-0 here for the big guy.
Didn't overdo it either.
No, he's really understands how to play on the today. It's almost like his fundamentals sets up for today's equipment. Really just smoothing the ball around the table.
I like the way Tony played the last 2. Some guys try too hard to get perfect position on that game ball. Just get the 7th ball down. If you've lightly nicked that ball and don't get a shot, then just you can defend yourself. You don't have to do anything crazy.
Yeah.
It's terrible to miss that ball and be on 6. Now
Yeah, and, there's a lot of things that happen. Sometimes, guys try to work the cue ball, overhit it, go 2 rails and scratch. You kiss off a ball. You're wondering what the heck happened, how did I lose this game? And like Mark said, get that 7th ball down anytime balls are out of play, especially.
Now, this is brand new slick cloth. This is the first match that's been played on. Tony's break has just been spot on. And sometimes brand new slick cloth is not that easy to break one pocket on.
Yes, you fear the corner ball moving on you a little bit. Now, it's really hard to get dialed in killing the cue ball on the rail for some reason with the new felt. It doesn't want to quite bite, like normal. Oh, man, he's got to hope this 4 doesn't sell out. Pretty bare cue ball right there. Maybe he was trying to squeeze it up on that 8 and 9. So this isn't bankable, but the cue ball should be back where it's at now. Or roughly up there.
Look at Tony. He's had that cue ball just pinned the whole match.
Yeah, but this isn't terrible. I mean, you got to do this 2-rail kick underneath, right? But if he keeps at it, he can start to get out of this a little bit and lengthen the game. And really time at the table is what Louis needs right now. It's been mainly Tony at the table.
Right.
This is the 3rd round, is that correct? Or 4th round? 3rd round?
I didn't hear what he said.
Okay, Tony's got, I would take a foul myself and dislodge the 9 a little bit. Just rub him a little, see if I can improve him. And the reason why you do this right here, if not, is a lot of times the guy can't really elevate and move balls right here, right? So Louis is going to just have to do this. Now, Tony's hoping something improves. He can always get the cue ball behind the stack. That's never going to be a problem for Tony, even if he has to foul. So that's why you'll see guys nick a ball near their own hole and really pin the cue ball, because it's hard for Louis to really elevate and move balls that way without giving something up.
I was wondering about the shot before.
Yeah, that one there. I think the 9 may have dressed up a little bit. Maybe not makeable this shot, but
It looks like Louis can cut the 7. No, pretty thin on
What
the
about
overhead.
the just bank the 3 at 3-4 and bank it 2 rails at the 7 and just pin him right on the back of the 15 there. Looks like it lays just perfect. You can cut the 3 just a hair. That way the 3 goes towards the 11.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to cut the 7, and this is no, he's going to bank it away. Okay.
And just put the cue ball behind the 4.
Yeah. Ooh, super nice touch. Now, the one thing about that, sometimes that 7, I know it's on Louis' side, but he really doesn't have much of anything else. A lot of times you'll want to get that higher up. Now, he's giving up the 15, which is going to hurt because it's going to be free. Yeah.
Golly. Twisted that bank right back in there. It wasn't just a dead bank, but Tony is so adept at maneuvering those balls with a little side spin.
Yeah, and it doesn't hurt. I'm sorry, Mark.
I was going to say, just that loose cloth, the new cloth really helps him, too, to give him confidence about making that.
Yeah, he didn't get shape here. That's going to be a little upsetting. But it doesn't hurt these guys come right, maybe still in the bank tournament, right? Coming right off the bank tournament doesn't hurt for these guys' confidence banking the ball. Now, if the 9 isn't playable, he can almost shoot this 13-11-3. He really. And pull the cue ball up a little bit. I guess maybe he'll get above the 7. He's trying to be offensive, though, that's for sure. Yeah, that combo looked pretty juicy to me. A little unlucky to get elevated. It's going to probably stop him here from moving the cue ball any further. Well, maybe not.
Good shot there with power.
Yeah, and finesse as well. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
He creates a lot of power with a very clean strike of the cue ball. Unfortunate here. It looks like we're not going to get to see much of Louis play, but trust me, he's improved his one pocket, and he'll hang around this tournament for some time. Good
question here from Clay Murray out in Bishop, California. He wants to know what kind of thing do they use to draw the white lines on the table, and it's Taylor's chalk. It's what they use to, like a seamstress or something when they're marking it for hems on clothes.
Well, if you're waiting to eat till this match is over with, you weren't going to be hungry long. That's for sure, Mark.
No, that was, just typical Tony CHOHAN style of one pocket. Couple good breaks, couple nice banks.
25 minutes later,
it's over. Really good decision making with his cue ball.
Yeah.
Totally had it.
Yeah, didn't miss hit a shot and really had control the entire time.
Okay, Jeremy and myself, we want to thank each of you for joining us here today on Accu-Stats, the worldwide leader in billiards programming. Please join us again soon, and so long for just a while.